Hey guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Not too bad, not too bad.
My name is Nima Nourian. I was the exterior design manager for the all-new Ranger. I've personally worked on 2 Ranger programs now. My very first job when I joined Ford of Australia, I'm Australian, when I joined Ford of Australia was designer on the current generation Ranger, and then my last job before I left to come to the US was design manager on the exterior for the all-new Ranger. So I've got a special relationship with the Ranger truck. I guess in terms of the design evolution of the Ranger, you know, the current generation was designed primarily for rest of the world customers and then brought into North America. Whereas this time around, when you look at the all-new Ranger, you can immediately see its North American F-Series design influence at a glance. And that was because we had the North American customer in mind from the very start. And this has been the most researched program we've ever done. We spoke to the most customers, we gathered as many insights as we could, and we spoke to competitive truck customers, and you know, we basically learned that the entire world really aspires for and is influenced by what our North American customers have come to expect from their Ford trucks, F-Series trucks. So I guess let's have a look at how we use these insights to bring Build for Tough to the design of the all-new Ranger. Starting with the model lineup, we have the XL, XLT, Lariat, and the all-new Ranger Raptor, which you guys will see shortly. The XL, XLT, and Lariat models, they get obviously the sportier appearance plus more standard content. But the XLT and Lariat customers have the option for the chrome appearance pack, which is the 18-inch chrome wheels and the chrome accents on the exterior of the vehicle. Looking at how we designed the all-new Ranger to meet our customers' needs, one of the very first things we did in the early phase of the program, architectural phase of the program, we widened the truck by 2 inches. And obviously that has functional benefits, but what it enabled us to do from a design team was to really address some customer feedback around wanting a tougher, more dominating front end and a just overall more muscular and planted truck. So pulling the wheels outboard helps with that. Thematically, you can see the F-Series influence pretty heavily at a glance. We start with the Ford oval, high and proud, intersected by this strong horizontal bar that extends out to the C-clamp shaped headlamps. And there's a real interlocking theme on the front end. When we're designing this, we deliberately tried to make sure all the elements are interlocked together like Lego or like Tetris. Everything's locked in together, and it's that visual connection and the interlocking of those elements that gives you the Built for Tough aesthetic that you can see on other trucks as well. The hood itself has got a lot of sculpture in it, which implies power, and we have an integrated bash plate on the lower, which supports the weight of the graphics above, which again communicates strength and protection. So again, front end wise, there's deliberate hints towards F-Series trucks in that regard. If we move on to the side, I guess there's a few key factors on the side. The front wheel has gone forward a little bit, which implies a little bit more dash to axle from a proportion perspective. The surface language itself is a lot more taut and lean, muscular than the previous generation. We have these 2 haunches above the wheels, which again is the result of extending the track outboard and giving a bit more muscle to the stance of the truck. The wheel lip moldings are standard across the board, and they not only protect the sheet metal, but one thing they do, and in this case the painted body color, but if you guys look at the FX floors over there and there, when they're painted in dark accent color, it visually lifts the truck and gives you more air over the tire, which makes the truck look more capable. And at the same time, it reduces the mass above the wheels, which visually lightens the truck, which makes it feel more athletic. So that combined with the more muscular surface language gives you quite a strong silhouette overall. Another built for tough attribute is that everything on the truck needs to serve a purpose. There's no extraneous details. So the fender vent is no exception. It helps cool the engine bay, by letting the extracting some of the hot air out of the engine bay. And visually, it ties it back to a lot of the other F-Series trucks as well. With regards to the wheels, you can get 17 or 18-inch wheels depending on the model. And the Ranger Raptor also gets its own 2 sets of unique 17-inch wheels. And finally, a really cool feature, we have our integrated box side step just behind the rear wheel here, which is part of the body, not the bumper like some of our competitors do. And the advantages here are you can put 2 feet in there to access the bed quite easily. And it can withstand loads of up to 300 pounds, which helps our customers. It gives them a lot of confidence to use it without any hesitation. I believe that's all kind of the high notes on the side. If we move around to the rear, I'll give you guys a quick overview of the rear as well. I guess the main elements, we talked about the more muscular surface language on the side, and that carries through into the tailgate itself with the triplane design that gives it more depth and dimension. We have quite technical detailing in the tail lamps, which correlates what's happening in the headlamps, gives it a more harmonious design. And we also have these cappings on top of the tailgate and the body side, which visually toughen the truck, but they also have a functional purpose as well, which I'll get to in just a second. And obviously the large, proud Ford Oval housing the camera underneath. So that's the exterior overview. We can go into more detail in a second, but I think the next bit I want to talk about is the cargo area itself. There's a couple of really cool features on the cargo area itself. One is that starting with the tailgate, it doubles up as a mobile workbench. It has 2 clamp points on the ends here. It has built-in ruler, and it's also got these little storage compartments, little pockets in the work surface that you can use as a cup holder or storing your nuts and bolts and fishing flies and whatever you need to keep it organized while you're trying to pack up. So mobile workbench, and then we have the cappings I spoke about. They cover attachment points, so they're nice and clean when they're not in use and they're there when you need them. And the other big thing about the cargo area is the distance between the wheel wells have been widened now to accommodate for 4 feet plywood and drywall for our customers to be able to transport that flat in the bed when they're transporting them around to help them with their home improvement projects and whatever else they need. So that's the big items in the cargo area. We can move into the interior now. I can give you guys a quick overview of that. We can walk around the interior. I'll just start with the front, perhaps. And I'll stand here so you guys can see. I guess with the interior, the overarching theme was trying to really keep everything super modern, super clean, and super minimal, right? And easy to understand. And I think one of the biggest, when we took this to our Ranger customers, that they told us that it's a giant leap forward in terms of like just the first impressions. When you sit in it, you get a much bigger sense of space. And that's because we've redesigned the IP. We've pulled the air registers out. We've got a real strong horizontal theme running through the IP. We've integrated the center stack screen per a lot of the research that we've done. So the overall sense of space is a lot more open, and everything's more less cluttered, and everything is a lot more organized. With regards to the seats themselves, they're the result of extensive research. We research with people of many shapes and sizes, and the end result is seats that are quite comfortable and supportive at the same time. And lastly, the extra careful attention has been given to the material selection in this vehicle. For example, we've got soft touch materials on top of the door uppers and the section in front of the passenger on the IP. They're the areas that you touch the most, so you want the nicest feel. And then down low, where you have the areas that are prone to get scuffed up, we have the most durable materials down there. And that kind of philosophy kind of carries through the whole interior. So that's the front. With regards to the rear of the cabin, there's two really cool features here. When we spoke to our customers, maybe we can pull this up. When we spoke to our customers, they told us one of the pain points was they really wanted more secure interior storage. And one of the ways we've addressed this is with this rear under seat storage, which is rear under seat storage, which enables you to put in your bags, purses, electronics, whatever you need to be out of the way when on the interior, when you safely stored out of the way. You can even put stuff in there that you don't use too often, like your cargo straps. You can even put your muddy shoes and boots in there because it's quite easy to clean and it's easy to access. So that's the first cool feature about the interior, the under seat storage, rear under seat storage. And then the second cool feature, which you probably just saw, is the rear seats now fold completely flat, which enable you to carry large, bulkier items inside the cabin, and also maneuver, heavier, bigger items easily, because you can slide and maneuver around in the back, like moving boxes or whatever it may be. So that's a really, really cool feature that the team's very proud of. But I guess just to wrap up, that's a quick overview of the all-new Ranger. The team's very proud of it, both inside and outside. And feel free to have a look. And if you have any questions, come grab it.
Yeah, I've got a few questions.
Go for it.
So it's really cool that the Lariat emblem up at front is actually a functional vent. Is that connected inside the actual engine bay?
It's ported. So
okay.
Yeah. So there's an outlet. It assists with the cooling of the engine.
Okay, awesome. The taillights. I see they're kind of like a smoked look. Is this going to be the general taillight for all the trim levels, or are you guys going to have like a more of a clear one? Because I think the 19s and up had the ones with the incandescent bulbs. Some had the LEDs. How are the taillights going to be modeled in the different trim levels?
I'll have to get back to you on that.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah,
no worries.
I can't give an accurate answer on that. I'll find out.
Okay, no worries. And as for the rear seat, so absolutely fantastic that flats. Is Ford gonna at some point offer a 70-30 split fold? Because I know that was when I purchased mine in 19, we were talking about looking at a 70-30 split fold custom, right? Is that going to be something maybe on Ford's Target in a future release, or?
I can't talk about.
Okay, all right, no problem. No problem.
You
But
try to sneak in those questions. I'm the same answer every time.
yeah, it's all right. It's all stuff that's coming to my mind.
Yeah.
But no, it's absolutely beautiful.
Up here, is this going to be for like tie downs for the for racks?
Correct.
Yeah. Is that a bolt design, or how's that?
For stake pocket? Yeah, I don't know. It's
Right now,
it's a mount. Yeah, it's a mount point. I don't know that it's a stake pocket. So we'd have to ask Juan.
Yeah, 'cause on the current generation Ranger, you got to use a clamp design to put a bed rack.
Yeah.
Right, that's how you have yours on, right?
Yeah, Juan.
Yeah, mine actually clamps inside of the
that's how
actual
mine is,
bed.
like-
The rack system that bolts in.
Yeah.
Those little what looks like handles on the side, is that a light that's in there, or what's the
This is
function?
the box lighting.
Box lighting.
Oh,
Okay,
Yeah, it's
gotcha.
box lighting. So LED lights in the box to give you better illumination.
That's great.
That's over there, right?
Yeah.
You'll learn about it in a second.
I'll cover that.
Yep. All the Ranger trim levels come with all the tie downs in the beds from when you order them.
Would need to check if I don't know if all the tie downs are on like XL.
Okay.
So we'd have to check on that.
So probably the base level might not. Okay. This is steel.
That says your steel.
That side's steel?
That side is still.
Yeah, I can check. I'll double check with Juan.
Yeah,
But these are steel. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like that. That's good.
Mine are like a little wavy.
Well, so when I had ordered my 2019 and it came in, the one thing I had noticed was dings from the parking lot. The aluminum was very, very plush, so it would lot of PDR, a lot of paint
I see.
removal.
Yeah.
Mine
So
has
it's nice to see
both.
steel. Yeah.